Welcome back, my legends, and today we're going to talk about Jackson Williams, Bangalore's brother. Now, in the midway season 10 update, people have discovered this secret POI in Olympus, where if you go to this part of the map right here, you'll discover a new building that hasn't been there before. Now, the interesting thing about this building is that only one legend recognizes what this is, and that legend is Bangalore.
Huh. This looks like... No way.
Now, what does this mean? Well, you see, every legend has one strong connection to an outside character. For example, Mirage and his mom Evelyn Witt have a strong connection. Gibby and his boyfriend Nick have a strong connection. Watson and her dad Luke Bouquet had a strong connection. And Viper and Valkyrie had a strong connection. Every legend has had one influential character in their backstory that's important to them. So when Bangalore says that she recognizes this building, it's a clear hint that this building's going to be related to Jackson in one way or another. Now, what makes this building very interesting and mysterious is how long has this been here? Has it recently just landed here, or has it been here the whole time? Now, this is so important because this thing was dropped here. The whole building itself is not some kind of spaceship, because if it was, there'll be some kind of thrusters or wings to go back into space. No, so that means that this thing was attached to something, probably an IMC ship, and was left here for some reason. Now, my guess is that this was probably dropped here somewhere around season 7. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because this whole building is some kind of emergency landing pod, which means the main ship got injured when it got too close to Olympus. Now, if you remember correctly in the season 7 trailer, we see that Olympus has a security system that activates when it spots an unidentified flying ship. And for those of you who are going to say, Kevin, how did nobody notice this ship try to sneak into Olympus? Well, it's because nobody actually lives in Olympus. We found that out from Angela Fascia in one of the comics, where she says that nobody has lived in Olympus for years because they turned it into a battle royale arena. So what this tells me is that somebody was trying to purposely go to Olympus to do something, and after triggering the security system, they had to use the emergency launch pad to land in Olympus. So who was this person that landed here? Well, it was clearly Jackson, but why was he doing in Olympus? Well, if my theory is correct, this will fit perfectly with the story. Now, if Jackson has been in Olympus the whole time since season 7, then I have a feeling that it was Jackson, the person who warned Octane about his dad being the one behind the hostage crisis. Now, for those of you who are going to say, Kevin, what makes you think it was Jackson? Well, we know there's a possibility that Jackson was Olympus. Olympus is underneath the city of Mota, which is where the Chevrex charity event was being held that night. And if you read very carefully the words this guy uses, he says the word "my employer," which he's talking about Eduardo Silva, but that can't be. Only Creighton Sautel is supposed to know that he's working for Eduardo Silva. So why would this random mercenary just know who the real employer is? Well, it all makes sense if this is Jackson, because remember, Jackson is a former IMC soldier. In fact, he was a lieutenant. So this is important because somebody had to lead the group of mercenaries. But if you remember correctly, the whole point of the hostage crisis was Eduardo's plan to make the syndicate look bad, so one day he can take over the syndicate. So the ultimate goal was for Creighton to crash the party, and whatever happened next, it didn't really matter because that was the goal. Basically, Creighton was being used as a puppet, and this person warning Octane was the person that was really in charge of the operation. Now, some of you are going to say, Kevin, Jackson would never do that. Well, if you remember from the Pathfinder's quest book, Bangalore said that they used to do odd jobs to get by. So I can see Jackson carrying out an operation like this. Now remember, the goal was for Creighton to crash the party. So once he did that, I have a feeling Jackson left so that way he doesn't get captured, because there was no point for him to be there. That would explain how the legends took out the mercenaries pretty easily. And I guess the final question will be, why will he do all this? Well, I think he has the same goal as Bangalore. They're both trying to go back to Gridiron to their families, as we saw in the Twitter comics where he sent a message to his mom and dad saying that he's still alive. But funny enough, he didn't mention his sister. I'll say that for another video, my legends. But the simplest explanation I can think of is that Eduardo Silva is equivalent to a billionaire in this universe, so he has the money and the connections to try to help Jackson get back home, maybe even sooner. So yeah, my legends, let me know what you think. This was more in the speculative range, but to me this makes the most sense. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.
So long ago that your hands disappear, I'll still find place where you